As we now go into Swamgambit Eamonn, we're going to skip Pan and Fennep and take Eamonn on once again as he goes up against Swamgambit. And we're starting early on here, out in the middle of the Bay of Bengal.
Wow. Well,
what a start.
The first time I see those islands appear in a World League. Very, very limited coverage there, but I also don't really know how to get them. Well, I didn't see the location, so... But based on their guesses, I can assume it was a very hard location.
I can tell you that it's the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. I did not know that that was their name, but now we know. And I don't think I've ever seen or had a guess on those islands before. So what a start to the game as we get into round 2. Not a 5K, but almost for Eamonn, who played an incredible game against with the glasses on there as well. A little PM being thrown in there. Put some pressure on. I like it. When you get a good guess, you can brag about it.
Yeah, you have to earn them. The glasses. As we go over to this round, which looks like Kenya. Even though we don't have the snorkel, you know, nowadays you can't fully rely on the snorkel on the car. You have this type of coverage as well. Looks more western half of the country, given how green it is. It was indeed very far west. Right on the border to Tanzania, and we move on to the next round. Yeah, these islands, they didn't have coverage until last year. So yeah. Haven't really looked into them as well. I looked at a couple of roads and I was like, I'll never see those in a game, so why bother?
Yeah.
But,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
Quick guessing coming in here for Eamonn. Will come out victorious. Swamgambit was almost immediately thereafter on the guess, so they both must have had really good intel to get that one locked in. So now go into round number 5. Swamgambit sitting under half health currently. Going towards, Eamonn assuming towards Iran. I'm not sure if that's where you want to log in.
No, there should be somewhere along the north coast. I don't know what these plantations are. It looks more northeast. Like this look we have on Swamgambit's screen looks northeastern. But it could also be northwest.
Let's see. Is
Is it hazelnut?
Turkey 5K powers.
Well, if it's hazelnut, it should be northeast more, yeah. Ordo is known to have a lot of these hazelnut plantations we had.
There you go.
But it goes all the way to Trabzon, so anywhere from Ordo to Trabzon did make sense there.
Minimal damage, though. Both equally, or almost equally, far from the correct location as we go from one mountainous location into another. What a beautiful spot this is.
It is beautiful. It should be somewhere along this short stretch along the coast of Croatia, is my thought. But the mountains might be too big now that I look at it. It still somehow looks like Croatia. Do we have a rift? Do we get a rift
Montenegro
check?
initially, yeah.
Yeah, I do agree. It looks like Monty, but the coverage looks weird. Especially the copyright is 22. Sorry for being a nerd.
You know what? That's why we're here. That is why the viewers are here. We want to hear from the nerds.
You get mostly like 2016, I think, in Montenegro. Therefore, I want to rule it out in this Croatia. They both didn't get it, actually. Which is probably because of the size of the mountains, because usually you don't see that big of mountains in Croatia. They're usually a bit of, lower in size, but the coverage definitely did fit.
See, into the next round we go. Swamgambit having himself a hard time thus far getting anything going. But again, when you're up against Eamonn, who, even when he almost got flawless by Harrier, played an incredible game. He is really on point right now. 2-1 reverse sweep against Harrier. And now, here in this one, what do we have lined up? He's in the southern parts, I should say, of Thailand. What are you thinking here?
The amount of palm trees we have around here, you always go that southern stretch of Thailand with your guess. Especially with this amount and with how sandy it is. Just kind of flat So everything combined makes this a 98% Southern Peninsula Thailand.
I love that statistic. 98. Not 97 or 99, but 98 specifically. And here we go. And you were right. Those 98% were completely on point. And they were set just 1 kilometer apart. So, there you have it.
Very interesting to see they both end up there, because the southern stretch is usually a bit more hard to reach, whereas in this case it was very flat. And yeah, the place they both guessed on is indeed very flat. In the southern stretch,
prediction gives Eamonn the upper hand. We'll see if that's gonna pay off or not.
Yes,
we should be
Russia.
What are you thinking here?
Yes, it does make sense. We have some very low trees, which puts you more in the north. I am not sure if this is even Russia. What is the copyright? I have to be a nerd again. Is it 21? Because
copyright,
Russia mostly or almost always has 2021 copyright. So if you don't see it, maybe reconsider your guess. But there's definitely also some updated copyrights in Russia where it can be higher than 21. Never under 21 though.
Copyright, of course, being when you zoom in, you see when the photos were taken on screen. As this time around, you can see the frustration on Swamgambit's face, miles off towards the east. Make that almost 2,500 kilometers off. As Eamonn able to get himself a swift 2-0 against Swamgambit. And continue what has been a very, very good performance so far today. Even though he had himself